I chose for you the story of Ruth.
Something very important in this woman, and I'm losing that.
I'm losing the only connection from home. Who will want you? You're a Moabite. You're a stranger. You are a widow. You are poor.
Oh God, it's exactly how do I feel right now in my life. Could you please say your message to the viewers?
In general, I would say don't be afraid of the scriptures.
Hello, welcome to Action Explorations. Today we are doing this fantastic interview with Tamar Pelleg. And our topic today is Bibliodrama. Hello, Tamar. Thank you for coming.
Hello, Anna. I'm very honored to be here.
I'm very happy you're here. And by the way, I'm on the east coast of the US and Tamar is in Israel. Right now we are going to do fully spontaneously, short demonstration, and I'm completely ready.
I chose for you the story of Ruth from the book of Ruth. And I will just tell you on what scenes or pivotal moments in the story I chose to stop, and I will ask you a question. So just in general, I will give the background of the story just to make sure that we are on the same page. So we're talking about a Jewish family that left Bethlehem, Judah, where she lived because there was a famine, and moved far away to Moab, which was a place that the Jewish community was not supposed to go there. The relationship between the Hebrews and the Moabite were such that for 10 generations they were not supposed to have any relationship with them, and doesn't matter now why, it's an old story, but it was by law. Do not mix with them. So it raises a question why the family went there, but we are not getting there. Anyway, they went into Moab, and Naomi, her husband Elimelech, and their two sons, Machlon and Chilion, and the two sons married two Moabite women, Ruth and Orpah. And lo and behold, the father of the family dies, and the two sons as well. And Naomi is being left alone with two daughters-in-law that didn't have any child. She decides, and I'm getting close to where I will enroll you, she decides to go back to Bethlehem, Yehuda, where she has some, kins, neighbors. I mean, in Moab now, what she could do, she's a complete foreigner, and she tells her daughters-in-law about her decision, and when they say, but we will follow you, we will go with you, we will not let you go by yourself, she do her best to persuade them not to join her and to go back to their homeland, to stay in Moab, that they will have a chance to remarry and have children. Because going with her to Bethlehem, Yehuda, the chances that somebody will marry them and that they will regain their livelihood again is like almost zero. Especially that they are also poor, and she herself is poor and she cannot support them. 3 times she is asking them to go back, and at last Orpah is being persuaded to go back, and Ruth is stubborn and she clings to Naomi, and she said the famous sentence, I will never leave you, your Lord, your God is my God, your people is my people, only death will bring us apart. So I invite you now to step into the shoes of Ruth at the moment that she sees Orpah, her sister-in-law, and some say she was really her sister, turning her back to start going backwards while she stays. And at this moment, I want to hear from you a soliloquy.
So she's going away and I'm staying here, right?
You are staying with Naomi, and you see her going further and farther away, and I want you to give a soliloquy as Ruth. The first thing that comes to mind.
Well, I'm never going to see her again.
I'm never going to see her again. And how does it feel?
It feels for me that I lost something important.
I lost something important.
Or I'm losing at this moment something important. Yes, something very important in this woman, and I'm losing that.
I'm losing the only connection from home that I could have in the new land.
Yeah. I feel scared. Yeah, she was the representation of my land, and right now I'm losing the feeling of groundedness. I feel anxious, scared. She was bringing me this feeling of groundedness and stability, and without her, I feel, I would say, helpless.
Helpless. Okay. Could it be that she also maybe represents some voices in you that consider maybe it's best to go back?
It feels that correct way for me probably to stay here, but it feels scary.
Yeah, scary to be all alone. Okay, so you are strongly determined to accompany Naomi to Bethlehem Yehuda, and you are clinging to her. And I'm wondering, Ruth, I'm really wondering, what is it in this woman, in your mother-in-law, that for her you're willing to leave behind your country, your land, your mother, your sister-in-law, and to continue with her to the unknown?
I feel some sort of power in her. I feel, I mean, in good way, power. Power of warmth, power of mother. That's what I feel in this woman.
Yeah. And when you arrive finally to Bethlehem Yehuda, I want to read for you the few verses that describes what happened when you enter the strange land, the gate of the land. Ask you a question.
And I'm by myself there, right? I'm alone.
Or with Naomi, okay?
Uh-huh.
When they arrived to Bethlehem, the whole city buzzed with excitement over them. The woman said, "Can this be Naomi?" "Do not call me Naomi," she replied. "Call me Mara," which is bitterness in Hebrew. "For God has made my lot very bitter. I went away full, and God has brought me back empty." And you hear this, Ruth. You hear this buzzing of the women around Naomi, and you hear her reply. And hearing this, what does it bring to you?
It brings like some uncertainty. I need time to process what's going on.
When you hear her saying, "I went full and I came empty," how does it make you feel?
I think this is probably when you repeat this to me, it is exactly when I say I need time to process. This is the time when I needed, I needed you to repeat this to me. I feel sad.
Imagine now that you are in the shoes of Ruth and you are entering a strange country. You know nothing, and Naomi, the only one who you lean on, is at this moment at least ignoring you. And she said that she came empty, like you are by her side, and you made all this trip with her, and she declares that she came empty. So I bet, as you said, that you feel sad and maybe you feel other things, but I would like you to write now, what is the prayer in Ruth's heart at this moment? For 2 minutes, just write without stopping.
Yes.
You don't have to share it, but when you read it to yourself, look and see if you can recognize and you can find out yourself in Ruth's prayer. Is there anything from your own life that you can find, any connection, anything that resonates from your own life?
Oh God, it's exactly the how do I feel right now in my life.
Okay.
Yes.
With that being said, I want to say that I many times include short writings in my bibliodrama.
Yeah.
That helps to delve in deeper.
It's exactly what I feel right now. It's unbelievable. Like I would say there is nothing even written from the role. It's like it's just me.
Yeah.
Well, I will share, as people know right now, it will reflect the situation in the world. I'm Russian, and this war with Ukraine. I have people in Russia and Ukraine. You know, it's a lot of things going on in parallel, and my life here in the US is going on, my project, and I have a little son. You know, it's a lot of uncertainty. And at the same moment, I understand there is a big higher power inside me. I do feel connection. From one side, I do feel alone, and from other side, I do feel strong connection and help. Wow, this is very powerful.
Yes. It is.
I think also this was very helpful to write it down. Thank you.
And when it's being done in a group, then some people would like to share, some people not, but it really helps because then we see the web of connection between the personal stories and the collective story.
Wow, this is very powerful. It's the whole thing is 18 minutes and how powerful it is. Even this short piece, that's amazing. Wow, thank you so much. Could you please say important moments in this short demo? What is important for viewers to pay attention to what you've done there?
When I prepare a text for a bibliodrama, and each facilitator, when he does, he looks at the text and looks for moments that are potentially has a lot of feelings there. And for example, I chose the moment of separation, the separation between Naomi, Ruth, and Orpah, and between Ruth and Orpah, and between Orpah and Ruth. And of course, we could have done more. I mean, we could have also addressed Orpah and asked her how she feels. And so this is a point that I chose to enlarge what we call in psychodrama, we enlarge it a little bit so we can hear the voice of what goes on in Ruth. What does she, so I can, for example, I can tell you that some other responses that I got in the past from this question was, how did you betray me, my sister? Like by going back. You didn't say, you just said I was sad. And she was like something to come with, but it arises, the separation between the sisters arises a lot of feelings.
Yes.
Also, the going to a new place without anyone that is just like your closest relationship. Like it's different even when you go on a tour, right? And you go with a friend, with a close friend, it's different than you go alone. And definitely when you go to live in a strange country, it's like a point that I chose to enlarge. And then it always raises a question, how comes, you know, usually in the world, it's not only in Israel, but in the world, it is known that relationship between a daughter-in-law and her husband's mother are very delicate and sometimes tense.
Yeah.
Raises a natural question. Why do you leave your own mother, your land, your people to go with your mother-in-law to a faraway land that nothing awaits for you there? Like, at the most, it is the unknown, but most of what you know is not really good, right? Who will want you? You're a Moabite. You are a stranger. You are a widow. You are poor. I mean, who will look at you?
Yeah.
And the last one is also something that just jumped to my eye when I read the text, and I tried to convey it in my reading, that everybody is around Naomi, and Ruth is like transparent there. Nobody even asks, who's this girl? Nothing. And you
Yeah.
come to this strange land and nobody even give a glimpse at you? What kind of a welcome is it? And Naomi said, I come empty, and she doesn't, like, in a way, Ruth might think, what do you mean you come empty? I'm with you, and I said I will never leave you. You're not empty.
Mm-hmm.
So all those moments are moments that can unfold to many psychodramas.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This really leads me when I pick points to ask a question about the gaps in the text,
Yeah.
that I will receive many different answers from many people.
About your practice.
Since COVID, I almost moved into facilitating on Zoom.
Yes.
I had a few ongoing groups on Zoom, but at least twice I managed to do live one-time event, Bibliodrama, which I have to say, as much as people were so creative to move techniques of psychodrama and bibliodrama to Zoom, it's not a replacement to a real live session. That for me anyway, I feel energetically that I'm much more alive and creative when I'm, Anyway, this year I was lucky to get invited by the Ministry of Education to teach a short course of bibliodrama to teachers, to biblical teachers.
Mm-hmm.
This course brought more work of teachers that wanted me to come to their school. And at this point, I will facilitate any group that will invite me, but I don't have now time to create a group. And sometimes before a Jewish holiday, there's always a nice story attached to the holiday, so I will facilitate a one-time event, psychodrama, that connects this story. But as I said, this year I engaged in writing a book, and I less have time in doing the marketing to create groups, so I come only to groups that are already firmed and invites me. I can facilitate in Hebrew and in English. My variety now of people who are interested in bibliodrama is rather narrow in Israel. This is, I said not long ago to my friends, I really miss the United States just for this. Especially teachers, they are interested because they are interested in bringing teaching that involves the heart, not only the mind, not only the head, to their students, and they find it, enlivening and really.
Yes.
And I'm happy about it. I mean, I wish more and more.
Mm-hmm. Could you please say your message to the viewers? By the way, they might be different viewers. They might be clinicians who are interested in facilitating, doing their own groups and facilitate bibliodrama. And there might be people who might be interested to experience bibliodrama as clients.
So, in general, I would say, don't be afraid of the scriptures.
Yes.
This is really our mythology. This is the stories of the beginning of humanity. And there is so much to draw from it, a lot. And when we are engaged with those stories, we are really bringing to life the stories, but also bringing ourselves alive, some livelihood. It's a two-way renaissance, I would say. Like you bring new life to an old story instead of leaving it in the museum, and who will look at this piece of museum in another generation or two if we will not make it alive. And on the other hand, it has so much potential of healing. We bring healing to, it's nowadays they're talking about transgenerational trauma and repair. I mean, and it started back there in the stories of Genesis. The trauma of Joseph is still being played out.
Yeah.
So when we bring healing to the stories, or I don't want to say to the stories, but through the stories, we actually are bringing the healing to here and now.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Tamar. And by the way, from my experience, also what I need to emphasize that it is easy, like how you are with the, like, I did not know the story. I didn't know what you prepared for me. People saw this and it was very easy for me. And it just raised up the spontaneity. Yes, right away I got it.
Right, and also Moreno used to say that our self emerges from the roles we play, and Bibliodrama really give you an opportunity to play a lot of roles that otherwise you wouldn't have played.
Yes, that's fantastic. Yes, and I did play the role which I would not play today. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Tamar. I really, really appreciate it. It was wonderful talking to you.